Hello, everyone. Happy Eulalia Day to you. It is a particularly climactic event this fine evening, episode 16 of Eulalia 5e, a Redwall story, our finale of this wonderful story that we've got a chance to tell together and tell with all of you. Really, really excited to be here. My name is Jacob Plick, do Walking Jacob on the internet. You're watching the Amphitheater, where we play TTRPGs and video games and all that good stuff. And boy, oh boy. Yeah, I literally am covered in goosebumps because I am so fascinated to see what happens in the next little bit. But of course, I'm not alone, and we'll talk about a little bit of announcements and stuff in a minute. But first things first, happy belated birthday to one April Raygun. Who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, I'm April. I am April Raygun. I play Nor, the otter, the clerical otter, twin of Core. That's it. That's
Cool.
the thing.
Cool.
I'm an otter.
Cool. Yes, you are. The clerical one. Was that on purpose? That I go to you on purpose on for the first? Yes, I did. Anyway, happy birthday, Crystal.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, people. My name is Crystal Fear. I am playing Sergio Kara, the Sorcerer's Crow, who is not ready for this at all.
Neither is your grand.
Oh God.
What does that mean?
What? You did this, not me. You asked the question. I just made you roll for it. Anywho, Alice is played by not ominous. Lynn, what's happening in your neck of the woods?
Just art times and decided to get through with this.
Right.
And then I am Lynn, she, her, and I'm playing Alice, the ranger squirrel, she, her.
Indeed. Our Abby Campione. Mr. Prince, what's happening?
Hey everybody, I'm Prince, also known as Dimples and Dice around the internet. I am playing Core, the Paladin of the Oath of Redemption. Still a pacifist, even though you had to fight for Redwall, and yeah, this has been our trip. Our pronouns are he, him, and it's the finale, y'all. We'll see what happens.
Man. Indeed. And last, certainly not least, a gentleman that we certainly missed last week, Mr. Philadelphia. Who are you playing?
Hey everybody, what is going on? As Mr. Jacob told you all just now a couple of seconds ago, my name is Philadelphia, and I am playing the Hair Assassin Rogue, who is called Tamarisk Ribbled.
He is. So
there was like a pinball machine. I was like, I had these ideas that I wanted to get in there. I was like,
is that how pinball machines work? Like you creep over, like
a very slow one that you do
peaceful
manually.
pinball.
Very peaceful pinball. Yeah. Oh boy, we'll see how that manifests this fine evening. And not to be remiss, Monsieur Noir Enigma, unfortunately, could not join us tonight. We're originally going to be playing Pock the Owl, Cleric of Ridiculousness. But that's okay. I'm sure maybe one day, maybe a little Pock, Brother Yarrick, buddy cop adventure one day. I don't know. Just something I'm thinking about. Yeah, it's a terrible, great idea.
I
right?
love this idea.
So yeah, one day perhaps. Well, that's okay. That's right. Other announcements. Let's see. Tomorrow, of course, Duval's Gaming Journey, regular scheduled time. We had some issues last week with Blood In, Blood Out, Blaze in the Dark, but we'll be back not this Thursday, but next Thursday for episode 3 of that for some ridiculous downtime. And if you know our cast, that's not just gonna be rolling a couple dice and hanging out. Shit's gonna go down, so you'll have to come back and check out that episode. That'll be at 9:00 p.m. Eastern time for all of that. As well as a quick note, as April was so wonderful to mention before we started, I got a new shirt. And if you stay tuned to a lot of the close of our streams, especially ones that I am on, that I'm running, I say a lot of these words. So you should go over to solarwork.com and buy that. And buy a bunch of other stuff and stuff.
Jacob, remind us, what are those words?
Oh, well, first of all, Black Lives Matter. Stop AAPI hate. trans rights and motherfucking human rights. We'll do it at the top of the show. It's the finale. We can do whatever the fuck we want. And of course, if you don't have a uterus, you don't get to tell people that have uteruses what to do with them. So you can take that and shove it. And of course, above all else, choose love. Simple, easy. Speaking of love, we got a story to tell. And hopefully some loving to do if everybody makes it out. I don't really know. But
there is a date that I need to see. Hamrisk is surviving.
Indeed. So what is perhaps the final time? Ooh, that hurt, right? I felt that right here. You feel that? Whew. Let's get into it. Let's tell a Redwall story.
All right.
Abbey built of red sandstone, dear to us as if our own. Cinder call across the land, all shall feel the mountains hand. Eulalia, my heart will sing. Eulalia, the bells will ring. Eulalia,
What you need to
Good
do is
game,
have Seer
everyone.
go in.
And we're back live.
Like,
Oh, right.
Hello?
Welcome back. So, last time, or maybe even first time, this all started out with the tale of finding a long-lost confidant, perhaps love, a fishing trip to assist with a feast, and ended up with all of this conversation with several like-minded beings about wants and needs, and ended up with a victory for the Children of Destiny. But that did not come without fairly great loss. But as wounds were began to heal, both physically and emotionally, there was a conversation between our Children of Destiny and Elijah as far as what his next steps would be. In no uncertain terms, get off your ass and help, for lack of a better term. And which is something that he did. Shortly thereafter, there was a loud boom as this large owl appeared on the Abbey front lawn, seemingly summoned by Scrag, our foxy druid friend, that has a ship that will get us to the Isle of Terramort, the land of death, and for whatever is to come. But after some conversation and a questions upon questions, there seems to have been, at least at some point, a way forward. All in between all of that, a shocking visit by some familiar shrews in Logalog, as the night was spent out in Mossflower Wood, just south of the River Moss. And where we essentially pick up, since we have some, late game sort of changes, we're going to pick up on the sea. You all having picked up for the morning, saying your goodbyes to Logalog and his crew. They also having a bit of truth bombs for themselves, thanks to a well-timed Zone of Truth and some very honest conversation. And As a matter of fact, he was telling the truth about his ship, and it's a pretty decently sized one, enough to fit all of you. And he was also right, but I'm sure much to both Seisha and Gran's chagrin, it's completely, what's the term? Staffed, I guess you could say, by a bunch of crows, which is very odd. A majority of them wearing these very strange, like, dome hats or your typical pirate garb and bandana. I want to check in with a few folks specifically. Norcor, is this your first time on the sea?
No.
No? Didn't think so.
I think it's probably the first time in a long time.
In a long time. Absolutely.
Since we left our original home.
I figured as much.
But we have been. Our mom used to take us out.
I figured as much.
Since Mom died, we haven't really done this.
But the salty sea air is very familiar. It is a bit on the temperate side as you travel through the Western Sea. And Nora, I'm sure at some point you would have grabbed a hold of your familial hovel of several baked goods and other food and things like that. And this is about a three days of sea travel for you all. At some point during that, as you're sort of lugging it around, you hear the sounds of metal coming from inside your big bag.
Start digging through.
Sure.
Did you put something that's not food in here?
So eventually, there is a crumpled up piece of parchment covering something that clinks on the deck.
Start unwrapping it.
You open it up and you see a collection of small diamonds. The crumpled up piece of parchment has a large note, and it just says, "It was your mom's. Love, Dad. Happy birthday, April."
Oh, that's diamonds. And I'm very excited because April wanted diamonds just in case anything bad happened, but then you just gave me diamonds, and now I'm worried that something really bad's gonna happen. Oh no! You gave me the.
It's a gift because you're going to have to use it. But what?
Oh, no.
I have the same thought.
Nor opens it up and just stares at them. Pokes around. A little tear. And I cast Sending. And it just says, "Thank you, we love you. We'll see you soon." To her father.
What? How did you do? I love you too? Completely confused and absolutely shocked.
She then takes them and just like shoves them in the deepest pocket underneath everything, the safest place she could find, as she then looks out at the ocean and thinks of her mom. And thanks. Thank you, Mother. We'll see you one day as well soon.
Hopefully not too soon. Tamarisk.
Yep.
You've been lost in thought for the last few days. Because you weren't here. We'll get to the date situation a little later. But anything that you wanted to do during this time of travel? Any conversations that you wanted to have?
So I think first off, this is the first time that Tamarisk has ever been on a boat. And he's not feeling it very much. So he's a little queasy, and I think he is I think more so than the seasickness, which is not that bad. It's just sort of like a light uncomfortableness inside of his belly. He's definitely got a good smattering of thalassophobia, and like if we can't see land, he is freaking out.
Yeah, the entire second and a majority of the beginning of day 3 is all water.
Yeah, so I think in that situation he is probably not going to be on deck. He's going to be underneath, thus enhancing his queasiness. But yeah, he prefers the knowing sense of nausea to the unknown terror that is the ocean.
Certainly. And what's maybe even more anxiety driven is the last thing that you see before there is no land is a familiar large mountain.
Yes.
With the outline of the fact that it is believed to be is the word benign? I think volcano. But still there is some level of embers and smoke that is the last thing that you see on the horizon. Dormant. That's the word. Thank you, Kristen.
Yeah, and I think that's an interesting point, because at some point in Tamarisk's life, that mountain represented safety and hope and everything that could be good about a society working together. And now it is like the thing that has represented or come to represent sort of a society breaking down, and it's fear and uncertainty and self-doubt and insecurity and those sorts of things, and it's because it's right on the water. You know how like there is a geographical effect where if something is next to the water, the clouds will kind of like come up and like situate themselves around the mountains by the side of the water. If you'll permit me, I think that probably is also happening, and it's giving it a really, really spooky vibe.
Sure. And what's odd though is as you sort of hit the second portion of day 3, all of that is replaced by the tint of red, and suddenly you all begin to see this large red fork lightning just impacts the sky right in front of what would be cloud cover, and then it just continues to do so as you are headed directly for that from a weather perspective. What's odd is typically with thunder and lightning comes some level of precipitation. But in this case, the skies are bone dry. But at about in the early evening, you're hit with the scent of certainly a replacement for the salt air, as you are hit with the scent of something largely stale, like the scent of like copper and like old blood, as you begin to see the outline of this large island. And as you approach from, and let me make sure I got my locale correct here. Yep. As you approach, sort of heading north, you see the large outline of what was likely at some point a very powerful looking fortress, but it is in a state of great decay, and there is hints even from this far away. Only when that lightning hits correctly do you see the outline of what looks to be like the remnants of a ransacked burning of some sort. There was certainly an active event that happened here. But that would be the most important thing that you noticed if it wasn't for, in the middle of this hollowed out fort area is this large set of what appear to be large glowing red petals that are just collected in this large cluster that as you get closer, who knows how tall this is. Tall enough for you to see several minutes away on the sea. And as you do the forked lightning and collects, hitting whatever this large thing is, and it seems to absorb it, and that lightning begins to all the way back up. This is the point of the JRPG where you save your game.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, is this the screen where it's like, there is no turning back? If you have any side quests, you can see them now.
Yeah, I think this is a moment where you just see Core standing at the bow of the ship, just staring, trying not to look as scared as he actually is.
Sure.
Trying to look determined. You know the Spider-Man face when Spider-Man knows he's about to get his ass beat?
Yeah.
But he goes in anyway. That's Core right now.
Certainly. What about you, Saoirse?
Oh, Saoirse's fascinated. Absolutely fascinated. She's up. She's probably up in the crow's nest, which I feel like is where she belongs. But yeah, she's watching all this, and you can see the lightning reflecting in her eyes. And she's absolutely just fascinated by what's happening. And very, very curious to see what this big structure is.
Certainly. And you're not alone up there. Pac mentioned his first mate that he has a very interesting relationship with. For the sake of brevity, like probably the conversation that you've had as you sort of built a slight bit of rapport is about how much he absolutely doesn't care for Pac whatsoever at all. But it's just not the time or the place. He's very honest about this, for whatever that's worth to you.
Okay. You know, I can understand that and respect it.
Well, I don't know about all of you, but we're staying on the boat, and whatever that is, you can have it. Oh, but if there's treasure, you can come and get us. Alice, what about you?
Chaotic neutral. I agree.
Indeed.
I think Alice has been at home, kind of like, not necessarily like the height of the crow's nest, but like in the sailing and the rigging and stuff like that. And I think she'll land on deck. She'll like take the rope down next to Core and just like cross her arms. It's, I don't suppose you have any idea what the hell that is.
Terrifying though.
Well, you got that right. I guess this more or less confirms that this is where we're supposed to go, right?
Yeah.
And it's at this thing where, like, destiny hopefully has better stuff than miserable failure, right? They usually don't set you up for that sort of thing, right?
Alice, if this is a one-way trip for me, tell my sister I love her.
She'll look at you. She'll kind of like point at on your armor on your chest, like, don't make me have to do that. Do not.
She'll try to save me over everyone, and I know that. But that might be the absolute worst choice.
Yeah, well, knowing you two, I think it's gonna be you two having a fight of who's gonna save the other one, and we're all gonna have to drag you back. I don't want to do that. I'm too small to drag you back.
We are going into hell potentially. Look at this.
I know.
They're talking about treasure. We're talking about maybe the end of things.
Yeah. How do you fight something like that? And she'll look at her bow. It's like, I don't know if arrows are going to cover it.
Everything that you have in here.
Hopefully that's enough.
It has to be. And
you know what?
Cora just wraps you in a hug. Thank you for being on this adventure with me.
It's like, yes. It's like, I think it's one of those hugs where like you like, I think Core is like substantially taller. It's like
yes,
one of those hugs with like each of her like
absolutely.
feet are kind of like. Well, your heart is as strong as you are. We should have no problem. It's a good thing I like being up high. You just feel like her feet like wiggling out like.
Sorry. Apologies.
No. Do not worry.
Nor. Scrag walks up to you. And kind of leaning on his large quarterstaff, looking out towards whatever this is. I've done more brave things in the few days that I've known you all than in, I think, my entire life. I don't know if that makes me stupid, smart, brave, or somewhere in between.
Well, this is the bravest things we've ever done as well. So I think we're all about on the same page.
All right.
So you're in good company.
Oh, I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse. But the thing that I'm proudest of, I think, is we probably all have the opportunity to just stay right here, turn around, and go home.
We could just turn around, tell them we tried, it didn't work. We'll have to find another way.
You've applied more logic to it than even I have.
Oh, I've already thought about just running away. I've thought every day. I think, what if we just turn around?
But we're not.
But that's part of being brave, is knowing that you're afraid and going forward anyway, and knowing that you have a way to turn around. I could swim. I don't need the boat.
That makes one of us.
But that wouldn't be the right thing to do.
All right. Let's just get this over with before I think any more of things. No more thinking. Bring it off. Let's go.
It's bad for you.
Well, if anything, and she's gonna tap the pocket where she hid the diamonds. We have a little time. No matter how bad it gets, there's always a little bit more time.
Kind of looks a little puzzled, but just kind of nods and goes to grab his things. And there is a small area in which to make weigh anchor, and several boats in which to make your way onto the Isle of Terramont proper. Assuming that is the plan of attack. One last thing, though. Saoirse, Grant flies over to you. Regardless of what happens, Saoirse, they will tell stories of this day for seasons to come. She kisses you on the forehead. Whatever happens, endless love.
She's gonna hug her. You've been Graham, you've been like a mom to me. And I want you to understand, no matter what happens out there, you're coming back. I'll make sure of it.
She nods. Anything else before everyone gets into the boats and or flies over?
Yes, someone do something. I cannot pick spells. I can't handle picking the spells right now. I'm having an emotional breakdown in this moment because I picked them and then just panicked.
Oh no. You know
that they're not the right
same
spells.
boat, literally.
We didn't level up, did we? We should be 5. Okay, cool.
We are 5.
Yeah, so you're choosing spells like as a long rest thing where you just like.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
I'm a cleric, so I get to change them every long rest, and I'm assuming we're long resting into the boats.
Duval. Yeah.
All right, cool.
I didn't use sending this morning to call my father.
Yeah.
And we're going on a boat.
Yeah, totally fine.
That was going to be my next question because Tamarisk is at 8 hit points.
Oh no, you're
Tamarisk,
no. You've had many sleeps since.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pulled off the boat this morning.
But oddly, you can't sneak attack anymore. Weird, nuts. Okay. So
you know what? Actually, I do think if things are slowing down, and I am like maybe I peek my head up over the little hatch from inside of the belly of this boat. And I realize that I can now see the island, and
yes, you can.
It is terribly frightening. As we're approaching, just to get a sense of where everybody is on the boat, are like all the rest of you, are you kind of stoically brooding at the front? Or Saoirse, are you up in the crow's nest? Or
crow's nest.
Alice, where are
I'm
you?
up in the crow's nest.
Probably staring up at the front.
Okay. I probably will come up after possibly not seeing you for 2 days, and walk towards the front, and I'll say, "Oh my, I wish I could go back down inside the hole. That looks terrifying."
Speaking of that, how are you doing? Are they finding your sea legs down there?
No, I was mostly resting on my bottom, trying to make sure that I didn't think about how much water was around us, and below us, and directly next to me, and how far the floor of the ocean. And he just like starts to shake his head and tries to get the thought out of his mind.
But now there's this. You like gesture at the
Will Smith meme.
Wow.
I'm slightly more equipped to deal with that, although not that much more. And he kind of glances at Core and you, Alice, and you, Nora, as well, assuming you're up there, and then maybe kind of turns around and expecting Saoirse to be up in the crow's nest and says, I do think that together we're more prepared than we would be without each other. We've done some really amazing things together, and while the journey hasn't been easy, physically or emotionally, I don't think I'd want to be anywhere else with anyone else at the moment. That's all.
Grabs Tamarisk.
Yeah.
There it is. I was waiting to see who was going to do it. There you go.
As you pull him in close, his breath smells vaguely of old vomit.
Oh.
Yo, yeah.
I mean, they got the bag.
Smell
The bag-
worse.
the bag is
That's
worse.
right.
And you would have
A
been,
sous-sol of vomit.
and I will say, you would have certainly been offered some seaweed grog during the trip. That may have made things better or worse. It's the finale. I won't make you roll a con save for the thing, but
Sure.
just
It definitely made things worse.
Oh, I would argue. Okay. Anything else?
Was that enough time, Nor?
If my plan goes badly, I'm gonna say no later.
Okay, fair enough. I love that. So, as you, whether via flight or by boat, you make your way up to the Isle of Terramort, the land of death, and you can see the outline in the soil of just this dark red that you just hope isn't blood, but it is certainly the color of it. And Nor and Alice, something strange happens as you make your way up onto the shore. How did you leave the carcass of the blue heron?
Wait, what do you mean?
And what way did you leave it? Was it out just on the ground?
Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Saoirse eat it?
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
we,
because you're staring at it.
Oh.
No.
Oh no. Oh no.
That was. Alice, do you see that?
Yeah, I would say that it's not the
It can't be the
coincidence,
same one, right?
but that's the way. She'll point at the so we cut pieces out. So she took those pieces. Why?
The heron is back.
do I
I
see
guess-
this?
Anyway.
Yeah, this is where I'm now pointing this out to everyone.
Yep.
What on-
What do you mean the heron is back?
Fork lightning once again,
The carcass.
illuminating the carcass.
You all see this, right? I'm not just
Everyone
Is
everyone
it
sees
just the carcass, or is it?
just the carcass?
walking around. It's not walking.
It's
around.
not walking around.
It's
It's,
like
No.
it's dead.
It's-
Okay.
okay, good. Yeah, I'm like,
For a second, I thought it got real bad.
It's on the,
I was like,
it's
I was thinking like
on
we
the
see it on the
soil.
shore. It's like it's just
Zombie
like it's missing.
carcass.
It's missing the piece that we ate.
Regret.
It's like, oh.
No.
Great.
I think
I
my
ruined
first
my own moment.
my first instinct would be to look around to see if there's any threats around.
Sure. Make a perception check.
Okay. 15.
15. Does anyone approach the carcass?
Not yet. That's what I'm planning on doing.
I start.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I'll
as
go.
you're scanning around, all you see is the outline of that large, glowing set of strange red leaves that are just seemingly clustered together. And as you stare at it, you realize that it's moving and spinning along with the lightning. And nor as you approach and move up to it, it disappears. And all of you hear in your heads, that was amongst your first choice. All of you, initially on a wee bit of a fishing trip. And now you come to another. Please approach.
Oh boy.
Oh, his
Yeah.
voice is beckoning in
Yeah.
your mind.
Hmm.
Before we
North-
do that, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Aid on Nor, Saoirse, and Alice.
Thank you.
So y'all will get +5 to your max hit points. And you heal that amount too, so
Nice.
not that matters.
I think it's just doesn't it just like operate as 5 temporary hit points? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Or five max hit
It
points.
5 to your max hit
Yeah.
points.
Oh.
We can get temps and
Uh,
it'll sit on top. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you click your hit points on D&D Beyond, you can actually just max hit point modifier. You can
And just
hit
add
5.
I am just.
We love that.
I went the wrong way.
Oh no, do you?
Fair enough.
Oh no, Nora's down.
I died again.
No, it's not.
Mother, I'm coming home.
Hey. Okay.
Do I see? Because I'm walking up this path now. Do I
Yep.
see anything suspicious? Do I see anything weird?
Just
His head's on a
outline
swivel, looking for anything.
doesn't appear to be.
Cool. Cool. That's cool.
I'm just going to. Saoirse's highly confused. Crystal's just going to check really quick. I don't recognize this voice, do I?
No.
Okay.
Actually, not. Yeah. No, not really. Not really.
Can we see where the path is going? Is there a terminus, or does it like disappear over a hill or something like that?
It initially disappears over a small hill, and as you approach it, it's the outline of the ruined fortress and this strange, monstrous set of leaves.
Okay, so we're headed into the fortress.
Yeah, essentially. It's because the fortress from where you approached is right up against the water, and you all there's a sort of a small hill that leads up to the embankment and then the fortress itself.
Roughly, if you were to just, I don't know, guess, how tall would the walls be?
There are no walls.
Oh, because it's ruins. Got it.
Correct.
Oh, I wonder if this was the wall haters.
Cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's an interesting thing to think about.
Haters.
So, on top of all of that, I want everyone to make a history check for me.
Hey.
3. All right.
That is
Should be
a
interesting.
12.
30-20.
So
21.
20,
That's about right.
21 for core.
18.
Anyone else? 18. That's pretty good. Alice?
7.
7. All right. So Norcore and Saoirse, you know that you are standing in the ruin of Fort Bladegirt. Was once ruled by someone self-proclaimed the King of Sea Rats, known as Gabul the Wild. And it at one point was a very savage and corrupt place. Even the fact that like sea rats feared returning to it after voyages at sea. That's how ruthless its ruler was. Many hundreds of seasons ago, the fort was burned down and gutted by a resistance effort known as Terramort Resistance Against Gabul, otherwise known as TRAG. How this ties back to Redwall, Abbey specifically, is the organization was started by Joseph the Bellmaker, who created the initial bell that then was slammed into, spoilers for Redwall again, Bill, sorry, that are now the two Matthias and Methuselah bells that ring now in Redwall Abbey. Where you stand at one point, many sins were committed. much blood was shed. And as that is said, there's like a set of forked lightning that strikes the ruins around you. And for a second there, your question about the walls, Tamarisk, makes more sense because you swear there are suddenly walls 15 feet high, and you see the outline of bodies everywhere, all over on steps, on rafters, everywhere. And then you hear the rolling thunder, and it's gone. Now, there is no inherent evil here, but this is indeed an island, a place where thousands of evil deeds were done. Now, many, many thousands of seasons later, I gave you gifts and helped show you who you really are. And now, you return. Now, specifically not you particular beings return, but your kind does. For I am Usanus the Forgotten.
What? Wait.
One more again. Just repeat that for me.
For I am Usanus the Forgotten.
I look at the mark on my hand. I'm
Uh-huh.
It's glowing green.
forgotten?
Can you hear us?
Forgotten by whom?
Are you related to another Musanix?
Do you have a brother?
Oh, like a twin.
At one point, we were one and the same.
Oh,
Okay, here we go.
you are like a tree then.
What do you mean at one point?
It seems spawning here has corrupted me and separated us. What was once not this brotherhood that you speak of, but a connection from the seed of awakening, which specifically you, Tamarisk, remember as Musanus showed that awakening to you.
Yeah.
Now, I believe my brethren, my chosen, decided to call themselves the Unwanted. I do not feel the connection.
It's been severed.
Do you come to confront me?
We come to understand.
No. Understand. That does make sense. I do not mean for the gifts to cause destruction and disdain and separation. So, if you choose, you may seal me away, but then it is going to then allow our connection to be renewed. However, that energy will cause a bit of a backdraft effect and destroy us both. What that means is the magic that you've come to know, the tools that you've come to know, will no longer be available to you.
If that's all, that's fine. I've
No,
lived
it
most
isn't.
of my life without these anyway.
It's not just you, Core.
Sure, but I mean, if it means stopping this destruction, then
There's gotta be a better way to do this.
I think people can be saved if we do this, though.
I agree. I mean, if magic did this, this doesn't look healthy.
Yes, this is definitely not anything that I've seen that I would consider healthy.
What other options would there be?
Usanus, is there a way to reconnect you to the other?
Such way.
I didn't hear you.
I know of no such way. But if you do choose this, unfortunately, the seed will attempt to defend itself.
But what if we don't choose this? Is there the chance that your magic will corrupt again?
Remains to be seen.
Do we want to take that chance?
I initially feel as the rest of you two, except for Sasha, that this is a powerful thing that has created a lot of pain and suffering. But I do want to know what all the potential options are. And
Yes, of course.
if quarantine, for lack of a better term, could be possible, at least that's something to consider, even if it's impractical.
If we have the time, we should at least try to save it.
Read.
Do you believe that absolute power corrupts absolutely?
No.
Why?
Why should it?
You've certainly seen evidence of the opposite. Like gifts used.
I was once blessed with your gifts. And yet here I am.
I think there are things that are too powerful for mortals to hold. Your gifts might be one of them.
But as a person that does not have magic, Nor and Ko and Sasha, have we done good things, would you say?
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Of course.
And yet we have access to this power, or rather, you do. And Alice and I have chosen to go into the darkest depths, fully trusting you. Could it not also be true? Well, now I'm thinking that if somebody has magical power and they are evil, let's say, there will be those that have that magical power and who can fight that evil. But it will be more
Precisely.
destructive. It will be more destructive.
It doesn't
Not
really
necessarily.
matter. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, the fireballs. You use them, they use them. Look what happened to the walls. Look what happened to the fields.
Yes, I'm going back on my thoughts here. I definitely think that removing the more powerful capabilities and simply moving back to, there will always be fighting. Yes, I do think we end it.
Yeah, the bigger and the more powerful the fight, the more opportunity to destroy things and harm innocents.
Anyone with magic has that ability.
Of course. But
Should I
doesn't
be
mean-
put away?
That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that doesn't mean you should have the power of the gods.
Did get a little carried away the first time the trees came. And I'm not saying that it was good or bad, or having that power is good or bad. But I think it also has a lot to do with the people you choose to surround yourself with. If you decide to surround yourself with bad, you're going to do bad things.
Yeah.
But if you decide to do good things, but
And
also
you'll do good things.
when you decided to do good things, you lost the ability to channel his power, which would then represent that his power is not necessarily or inherently that good. And I don't know if it means that we should kill all magic, and I don't know if that's the right answer, but this is a very complicated situation.
As far as I'm concerned, magic is neither good nor evil. No magic is either good or evil. It is only in the way you use it.
It is a tool like anything else, but
Precisely.
I think what they're saying is if everyone has a big enough weapon, they're all going to turn it on each other eventually, like we've done. We've done it. We summoned a tree and smashed a man to death. The first chance we got. The first time someone with a bigger toy than us came and tried to take down our walls, we did worse things to go back against them.
Is that not what war is?
I don't know if
That is a very means justify the ends sort of idea, and I don't want that, no.
Is it fair to give someone like me the ability to hurt that many people at one time? I never thought about it. I never questioned it. I never thought about the ramifications, and then I did it. And how many people do that?
Then perhaps Musanus and his counterpart should be more... what's the word? Picky with who they give their gifts to.
So only some people should have god powers and others shouldn't.
But here's the problem. One of them is good. One of them is technically kind of evil. They just said it.
How would you go about choosing?
Yes, who gets the... Do we set up a council of who is willing and ready to have these abilities? Do we take classes? Do we make them sign paperwork and give us our names and make a record? That also seems...
More hands, more.
And then comes... There's always... What were they worried? That they think that they thought to take down the walls because we could control who would have walls. Then if we have someone walling off magic and controlling that, who's going to take them down? And then they're going to have bigger and Nora's just gonna
spiral.
Spiraling right
yeah,
now.
Sure.
I just don't want to hear that.
Yeah, totally. I got you.
Point of order, just to jog my memory. Inside of the Skull Collar, everybody had it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But entrance into Skull Collar was like
Hidden. It was hidden. Right?
There was none.
You found a key.
They did not want outsiders.
Right,
they
exactly.
wanted to control who was able to come in and out and who had access to magic.
So that feels like a very important data point here. So I would like to ask Mercedes the Forgotten, how did you decide that's Elijah and the people that were serving him should have your gift? We're talking about choosing. You made a choice. How did that happen?
I simply reached out to beings questioning for more. Questioning about their own well-beings, questioning about how to survive. And I provided my gift.
Tamaris turns around immediately and says, "So it's going to happen again. That is a general sense of well-being is questioning what is going on and how you're going to get your next meal. This is going to happen again."
Desperation are not necessarily good things to value how someone will use a tool.
I cannot, in good conscience, as someone who has used magic her whole life, stand here and allow for magic to just be driven from this world.
If it'll make people safe, if it will make things better, you're not willing to sacrifice that part.
Is that...
Duval.
How do you have any idea that it's going to be better?
We were able to save so many people due to magic after the battle that would have never been injured if it wasn't for magic to begin with.
And
I've carried so many of our friends to the other side of that wall and used magic to open a hole. We have used magic to help fix our walls, to bring the people back inside, to feed the children. That would have never had to be done if the magic wasn't there to begin with. Things will be hard. Things will get harder. And I don't want to live in a world without magic. I don't want to live in a world where I can't protect Cor or you or Alice or Tamarisk. But I wouldn't have to do that in those ways if we weren't being attacked by fireballs and trees and bigger things than we are.
And when someone bigger than us comes at us with regular weapons, and we all
have a chance.
Then there'll be regular weapons.
I would much rather fight a man with an axe and a blade than a man with a fireball.
And then how do we heal?
The same
how
way
do we
did
protect?
Before. The same way we did before. The same way that they're doing right now with us not there.
But
the same way that
who don't have magic.
There are many healers without magic. We have one at Redwall, and I'm going to glance at Tamarisk.
Those walls did not protect them from somebody misusing things. All their talk, all their protection, all their learning did not keep things out.
I don't want to live in a world without magic.
We've abused magic ourselves.
But as you just said, you've used magic for wonderful things. There would be so many more people dead if it wasn't for you, Nor, and Cor. And Sersha, with your offensive magic used in a responsible way. I don't
give it all up for bringing back the people that we've lost to magic. Without a second thought. Without a breath.
But that's not the option here. We're not bringing anyone back.
I understand that we aren't bringing anyone back. The point is, how many more people are going to hurt? Tremendously.
And how many more people will die without it?
I don't think magic is currently keeping people alive who are already alive without magic. Tamarisk, do you feel like you're going to die if magic doesn't continue to exist?
No.
I know this sounds facetious, but think about it. There's plenty of us who don't have access to magic.
And there's plenty of us that do.
Yes, I'm one of them. I'm
Tell me
not
something,
telling you
Cor.
this is a yes. Yes.
Tell me something. Has your family ever turned on you because of your use of magic?
No. I have a very loving and supporting family as it stands.
That must be wonderful. Not all of us have gotten to live that way. Not all of us have had that privilege.
Seriously,
My gran is the only one that has ever been there for me.
My dad has been the only one that's been there for me. I know.
Seriously, you notice that Gran has been, and as you know her, she's very lippy. So that means that she is purposely staying out of this conversation.
Yeah.
But on that note of family, she'll kind of lean a wing over to you, like caress you for just a minute, as the fork lightning impacts the sky once again. The difference, Saoirse, is we're not alone anymore. I'm not keen to lose my abilities either. And I'm not keen to just go off and, I suppose, kill whatever this thing is. But it is important, whichever way you decide, to acknowledge that something has changed.
I know. Just... magic is such an intrinsic part of who I am. I can't... I don't want to live in a world without it.
I'm not the only one. I
Then
guess that
let's
just...
find a way. Let's find a way.
We literally have a god telling us there's no other way.
We have an old creature, an old being. He's not a god.
How would you suggest we find a way then?
We speak with the other. Is there some reason we can't reach out to him?
We can.
Saoirse's gonna do it.
You rub your blessing and reach out to Musanis. And typically when you've been able to make purchase. Unfortunately, that's not the case this time.
He told us before we left that he could not see this place. This is not
Saoirse's gonna fly out to the boat. And do it again.
No response. As that you could certainly try farther away if you would like.
Yeah.
Eventually. Further enough away. It's a tiring flight because it's going to take a while. But eventually you do make purchase. Saoirse.
Yes, Samus.
What do you say to him when you reached out initially?
We've journeyed out to the Isle of Terramort. And we found what? We've found the reason for the other blessings. and she's going to try to show him in her mind what she's seen and what she's heard.
After a while, they reach back out to you. There is a chance, albeit a small one. Assuming you told him about what Musan's Forgotten said.
Yeah.
There is a small opportunity with this information. If I am strong enough. But as with Saoirse, if I'm being honest, I do not know.
I believe you are.
Then do what you must. That's it.
Okay. Okay, she's gonna fly back.
Okay.
And she's gonna tell everyone what was said.
Anything happening during Saoirse's temporary?
How long was she gone?
To accomplish this, about an hour and a half.
I don't know how the mechanism of speech is happening. There's no physical body, right?
It's inside your mind.
Yeah, okay. So Tamara's...
Sort of like telepathy. Telepathy?
Telepathy.
Teletubby.
Teletubbies.
Great, Musanus is a Teletubby.
Oh, God.
Kill it. I
Wow.
cast fireball.
To ruin, yep. Yes.
Core is no longer a pacifist.
Yeah, right.
We have gone full murder hobo
To ruin
last
your
10
own
minutes.
campaign ending in one word. Anyway.
So Tamara's not really understanding how all of that works.
Sure.
He is going to kind of ask for a huddle.
Sure, team huddle.
We don't have any reason to trust him. He specifically said he reaches out to people who are confused and, for lack of a better term, easily manipulated.
Could all be a trick.
It could be a trick.
It might not be a trick. It might be something where it seems bad, but we don't understand it.
Can we insight
Any of it.
Sure.
We didn't.
Definitely
check
not
to
on
see
body
if it
language.
exists.
Yeah.
In voice and understanding, you certainly can.
10.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Leaves are talking to you. That's fucking weird. Don't you have an inspiration?
I do,
Do.
but I don't want to use it on that. I am saving.
Fair enough. I'm just saying. I was like, I think you do. Anyway,
Use it
but
on
yeah,
insight
Can I roll as well for insight? Because
Please.
that's where I was headed with this.
Yeah, sure, certainly. I was surprised it took this fucking long. You guys are super paranoid.
We all believe this voice in the sky.
Works for me. 5?
5.
Woof.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like, here's another question. So green Musanus was coming from the tree. That's indisputable, right?
Yes.
Is it true that the red Musanus is indisputably coming from the pile of leaves?
Logic makes sense.
Okay.
Oh man, now I want to go investigate the pile of leaves.
Yeah.
No.
I want to go
Jump.
in the... Yeah, I want to go jump in that pile of
There's
leaves.
a fire hydrant in there. No.
Actually,
to be fair, it's not a pile of leaves. It's floating.
Oh.
Surrounded by electricity.
okay.
But to be fair, it is like, as it's floating, like it's not like it's like floating like 50 feet off the ground. Like all of these leaves are all around from the soil to about 20 feet in the air.
Why don't we go and at least check it out? When we approached Lucanus, well, the other one, the not bad one, there was a
Amazing.
cloud of green. Maybe this will indicate that this is where the source of the red mucinus is.
Yes, we should. I mean, we should look around.
Yeah, that's definitely worth a shot. Trying to understand
and if Shersa has been gone for an hour at some point, Nor would have gotten.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Nor would have wandered off and started poking things.
What you do?
What Nor does.
Yeah, no problem.
Let's poke
Fortunately,
things.
Sasha, what's your passive perception?
Passive perception is 14.
14. Yeah, that's still enough to. As you're beginning to fly back, as the fort lightning hits, you see small, familiar folk heading towards this large, glowing red and pink lightning leaf thing. As you are flying back, who approaches it first?
Sure.
Core would, honestly.
Okay.
There is
Certainly.
no fear of this.
Sure, certainly. You enter, and it's like this static electricity hits it as the lightning current actually impacts you in your armor, but doesn't seem to hurt or damage you currently. But all your fur is
Standing on in.
100%.
Right.
And as you maneuver your way and you kind of hear the crackling of these leaves, you see the outline of a large floating yellow seed.
Interesting.
And it has, those things you find children museums where you place your hand on it and the electricity hits you. That's what it looks like, and it's attached to all of the leaves that are floating around. Thousands of those.
If I see that as well, I'll probably say that was inside of the vision that the other Mucinus showed me. This is the seed of reproduction. Seed of Genesis. The OG seeds.
What does OG mean?
And lightning strikes Tamarisk.
A real one.
Anyway. So, but yeah, as soon as you break the proverbial seal, same thing. Standing on end. And almost as if welcoming your inspection, the leaves themselves float about 10 feet out. And even as you fly back, you see the outline of these leaves that just kind of spin around, not fast, but into a tornado formation, layers and layers and layers and layers, this glowing yellow seed.
Okay. She's going to fly towards the seed.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll land and she'll tell everyone what the other Musan said.
And the Forgotten beckons once more. Have you made your decision?
I was talking to. Oh,
Oh, were you talking on mute?
Oh, sorry. Was I muted?
Yeah,
I was talking to Saoirse.
Yeah.
I'm gonna whisper
touche.
to Saoirse when
Go
she
for
lands.
it. Do your thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love when my players have secrets from me. I love that. Yes. Please talk amongst yourselves. Don't tell me shit.
You can hear it. I wasn't trying to be a secret. I just hit the button.
It's a button.
Rated B. Saoirse, did Musenix say what to do at least, or a suggestion of how?
He said to do what we needed to.
That's very helpful.
He and I are both hopeful that he is strong enough to exist on his own.
Musenix thinks he's strong enough.
Musanis. There's
Musenix,
no
that's
X
what I
at the
said.
end.
Did I say it wrong again? I said
You said
Musenix.
Musanix.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's not like you guys haven't mispronounced about 30 of my pieces anyway, so.
That's fair.
Did Tree Dude say that he was strong enough to handle this?
Yes.
Tree Dude?
Tree Dude won. Anyway.
You have a good tree and a bad tree. Does the good tree think he could take the bad tree?
Either good or bad.
I can't say Musenix right, so I'm trying to shorten it.
Yeah, no,
You're not
totally
making
fine.
this any helpful.
Anyway.
I take away this conversation. Never
Yeah.
mind. This
MC.
conversation is not happening. I'm no
MC.
longer asking your opinion.
Amazing. Oh, amazing.
I cast Fireball.
Oh, Musey Goosey.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That tracks.
Yeah. We're hopeful that he can survive it.
Musenix thinks he could survive it, then if he was hopeful and believed it, then we have no reason not to believe.
He wasn't the one who was hopeful.
Oh.
And what do you think would happen if he were to not survive it?
Magic would no longer exist.
We'll know what would happen if the other one won over Musenix. Would then he take over? Because that's the real fear here then, right? That we do this, he tries to take over other Musenix and he wins. And our Musenix is dead. Could that be a repercussion?
I don't think that's what's at stake here.
So there are no repercussions if we try this, is what you're saying. So he's going to die either way. If we try this, he will die if it doesn't work, and if we don't try this and kill him, he will die if it does. So either way, we should try it then. If there are no repercussions, if he cannot take over on Musenix.
It's not.
We have to do something. So we either try this and we kill Musenix and nothing bad happens, or we don't try this, we kill bad Musenix and same thing happens.
That's not. No. What's happening here is if we don't stop the Forgotten, if we don't contain him,
If we
others
contain
will
him,
be-
we lose magic though.
no. Well, if we fight him, if we kill him, then I'm not sure that the other would survive.
But we need to deal with this one, right?
Right, which is why I
yes,
would
they're both-
prefer to contain him instead of
How
trying to remove him.
We're
And
going to
how,
we
put the leaves
contain him,
into
it-
a bottle and hope for the best.
then how do we contain this powerful being that we have?
without hurting Musanix, because he said that if we tried to contain him again, it would destroy magic and take out the other Musanix.
Do we have a way to contain it?
No.
The only thing I could think of that is that strong of containing things in stories have been people, things of great power, and usually a sacrifice of something greater.
Binding to something. But
I don't. Do we have anyone good at
Does
binding
anyone-
things?
Yeah, does
Has
anyone
anyone
know how
found
to
a
bind?
thing?
yes,
I'm
that
fairly
is-
certain that Gran is phenomenal at binding spells.
But
Letters?
binding a god. And to what?
Not a god.
Okay, then something very powerful.
Okay. Then binding this floating plant thing
That is more powerful than us.
and giving
Because it
magical
can-
powers to things.
Yeah.
We keep arguing the semantics. I think that's the least important part of all this.
There is a way to dispel magic.
Wait, I
That
I-
destroys the magic, though, doesn't it?
well, think about this. Hold on. Let's take a second. Magic has to go somewhere. This is
Mhm.
like energy. Energy has to go somewhere. Once it's expended, it has to go somewhere. If these powerful magical things are gone, the magic has to go somewhere. It doesn't just poof get sucked out of existence. Probably.
Probably.
If we want to try that, that is an option.
It's probably our end as well, but you know.
I could try to dispel it and see what happens.
If it doesn't
If,
work, you won't like it.
Is
If
Grant's
it
there,
doesn't
right?
work, it
Grant is
would
there.
be very bad and could take a lot out of someone.
What's the? She's gonna look. I think Alice is gonna look at Grant and just say, "You said binding. You said dispelling. What's the danger in doing that rather than dealing with it? What's
Depends
it
on
require?"
the source. At my capabilities, I'm not confident that this would be a permanent solution. Could buy you time, but let's be honest. You're all sitting in analysis paralysis right now, and you
I
need to
think
make a choice.
we have to fight.
Yeah,
I'm
do
tired
this
of
thing.
fighting.
I'm also tired of fighting.
Dispel magic!
you cast it?
I
Okay.
cast Dispel magic.
Okay. Roll a d20.
On
Crit,
the seed?
crit,
On what?
Crit.
On the thing, I'm going to use roll
Yeah.
20 so we can all see my roll.
Oh, hold up. I'm gonna see if I can get the map up so that the audience can also watch.
Oh, God,
so they can see
okay.
the roll.
Nat 20.
It's,
nat
I'm going to
20.
try to save him for Saoirse. Dispelling magic. If this doesn't work, we're going to have to fight it.
Wait, one sec.
Yeah, this doesn't work. We'll roll initiative.
Yeah, I realized that. But
That's
you
what
made
I
a
figured.
point. You were
did.
in decision paralysis.
Yes,
That-
20.
that's I got 1/3 level spell left.
Oh.
Because I only have 2.
Try and throw it right over the top of the abbey.
Okay, yes.
I love you, Bill.
Let me
Let
try
the dice
to
crush the
Amazing.
abbey.
roll 20. Roll
Let's see what
over the
happens.
abbey.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
See, the walls
So roll 20
walls of Redwall will help
to everyone.
help you.
Yeah, can see it.
So
I rolled a 19.
Oh.
Well done.
Nice.
Okay.
So good.
Oh, you didn't have 3D dice turned on. Oh.
Oh.
Oh
Damn it.
no!
It was a 19.
Everyone imagine a
Okay.
D20 roll very gracefully over the top of
Okay.
the Abbey to a 19.
So it's a 19.
Damn.
What is your wisdom modifier?
My wisdom modifier is a +3.
Plus
Wait,
three.
no, saving throw or just
No,
modifier?
just a check.
Okay, that's 3.
So interesting. Okay. So, to be clear, dispelling a spell that is a higher level than what you cast it at typically means that the DC is equal to 10 plus the spell's level. For the purposes of this situation, this attempt would have been a DC of 19. So, here's what happens. As you feel the frustration of indecision boil over you, and you reach out, and you all feel this energy dissipate from Nor and impact this seed. And for a second, time stops. You're frozen, not in analysis paralysis, but in what happens. And then the seed, glowing yellow, as it's attempting to germinate, and you see this outline of like this long vine and root collection protrude down and land in the soil. And then right after it, you see the seed turn a dark brown and then dust. And then there's another pulse of this lightning-like arcing energy. As all of you go flying, and I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
X saving throw.
17.
X saving throw. Where are you? There you are. God damn.
11.
10.
Dirty 20.
We're going to resolve that dexterity saving throw after the break.
Oh, God, no, you can't.
I
I
know.
know. No break.
Yeah.
No break. No break.
Yeah, I can.
I need to
just
know
did.
if I just made the worst
I
decision
knew it.
possible
I
in
looked
this
at time.
entire
When is it going to
fucking
happen? When is it going to? I was waiting through the entire thing. Like, when is it going to break?
You can't.
Like,
No break.
Yeah.
No break.
I will say, if you really don't want to,
No, it's
don't
okay.
want
We
one,
can break.
okay,
We can
We
take
can-
a
we
break,
can break,
but I
we can
want to
break.
know.
okay. We'll take a small break.
I'm gonna be salty about it. We should break.
Yeah, because it has been 2 hours almost.
Oh wow.
So we'll be back to resolve this interesting situation after an impulse dispel magic, and we'll be back in just a few. Stay tuned.
Yep. You and me are down.
All right, we're back.
Welcome back, everyone. Nothing important really happened in the first half. Just the fate of magic as we know it hanging in the balance.
Oh.
As we've discovered, Children of Destiny, I should say, discovered the Isle of Terramort, the land of the death, and found Buceus the Forgotten. And after a lot of back and forth discussion and even a bit of hopeful conversation, Nor decided that enough was enough and cast the spell magic. And everyone went flying. So, for those of you, just to keep it simple, because we got things to do. For those of you that failed a DC of 15,
yep,
you suffer 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Thank you for those hit points.
And those of you that succeeded, 3, of course. And I need everyone to roll a D100.
Oh, cool. Let's see. Come on. D100. Right in the middle.
Oh, love that.
80.
Okay, so we'll start. So, Alice, what'd you roll?
49.
49. As you land and the breath leaves your lungs and out, you can't speak because you have pink bubbles floating out of your mouth.
Oh, good.
Saoirse, what'd you roll?
80.
Oh.
It's weirdly peaceful to you as you've also land because you have butterflies and flower petals fluttering around you in the air. Core.
Just gonna bite it one.
66.
As you bite at one, it disappears. It's an illusion. Core, what was it?
66.
66. Oh, that's fantastic.
Uh-oh.
So as you land, let's see, considering where you were, Tamarisk, Nor, and Saoirse, as Core lands with a loud clink, the red fork lightning now strikes Core, and not doing anything to him, but to the rest of you.
Wait, who of us? Which ones?
Alice.
Oh, great. Oh, no.
Saoirse.
Oh, I know what.
And I'm sorry. Tamarisk, Saoirse, and Nor. As you take 15. Ooh, this is a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
15.
10,
30 points of lightning.
Holy!
Oh, no.
What the fuck?
My.
Up to yep.
Oh my god! Thank you so much for the
Hit
HP.
Alice would be swearing. Alice would be swearing if she didn't have bubbles. These bubbles are just
100%.
Saoirse's at 8.
Oh.
Certainly.
Yeah, I'm at 6. The only reason I'm alive is because of that aid.
Tamarisk, what did you roll?
It doesn't really matter because I'm down.
No, it still does. Roll D100.
All right, I did a 17. Hold on. No, that's wrong. 18.
18. Interesting. So Tamarisk flies out, impacting in the soil, and from even as you're all recovering, you see the outline of a large bushy beard grow on his face.
Not covering those sweet cheeks.
And Oops, that's what I
Amazing.
roll for Gran. And
Wait, do you want mine?
Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Nor.
Oh, I forgot mine already. 22.
Roll the same number.
Wait, sorry, did I read the wrong one?
Did you?
No, I got a 22.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Lame.
But
Cool.
if you cast a spell in the next minute that involves a saving throw, the target will have disadvantage on that saving throw.
At least no one
and-
That's fine,
66
that's fine.
twice. That's not.
So, hold on. Let me make sure I did this right.
Everyone else roll 66.
Let's see. Fortunately, nothing happens audibly with Scrag
Oh.
and Gran. That's hilarious. Gran regains, this is ironic, 10 hit points. As this strange shockwave impacts all of you in different ways, as the magic that was impacted in this seed suddenly released. And the lightning in the area is gone completely.
As Core gets up, he immediately casts Prayer of Healing.
That's a smart move. Okay.
So let's see.
That's what 10-minute casting time?
Yeah.
Was it 10 minutes? Then I immediately, as soon as Nor gets up, she's like, not even on, like standing, like crawls over to Tamarisk and cure wounds.
Yeah, I was just about to have Terrorist roll a death saving throw,
Yeah.
so thank you for that. So, as that's all happening, all at once, different voice, one that is very familiar, but one that you haven't heard in a minute. What did you do? This is all, and all of you, all of you hear this as the voice of Musanus reaches out. All of you, and you hear, and you actually see the green energy glow on all of your hands.
I was just about to reach out to him. We
did a thing.
we dispelled him.
Did it work? Did it do it? Did the spell work? Do I do it great?
Alice is gonna look at Nora just like,
It's only for a minute.
And I'm gonna run over to Alice. Oh no! Medicine checks, poking at the bubbles.
It's amazing.
he's
Yeah.
also trying to put the bubbles back on.
Like, yeah, you should have almost got in your mouth.
You almost choke. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you did this, but I think that I can show you that it works. And the reddish area all around begins to shift, and greenery appears as grass begins to grow all across the island. And off the wind, you see cherry blossom petals begins to just encircle all of you. And you probably don't need to wrap up that prayer of healing, because whatever he's doing brings everybody back to full. And Gran just looks at all of you. That was maybe the absolute stupidest decision that I've seen in my many, many seasons. And yet it seems to have been the right one.
Seems to be the way with these ones.
That includes you, young one. But whatever that entity was seems to be no longer.
Saoirse's gonna hug Nor.
Okay.
You did it.
I thought I cursed us all. I thought I destroyed everything.
You didn't.
Oh. And Nora's gonna look back at the spot and actually walk over to like the spot and like look at the ground and see if anything, like any ash, anything.
There is some, a large collection of it in a pile. That tends to cover the newly germinated blades of grass.
I'm gonna take something out of my bag and just like a bottle and just start throwing it in the bottle.
Okay.
You had the same thought I did.
Certainly. Okay. And Musanis reaches back out. I can see everything. I don't even know how to.
Can you see everyone that the other one touched? Can you find them and help them?
There's a long, long pause. By help, what do you mean?
Do not talk to them. You talked to us. We were all going through things and you helped us. They have a power that's come from part of you.
I will do as you wish. Scraggs just goes, "What?"
Cora's like nodding his head in agreement. I have no idea what just happened.
We went from all right, certain death, right? Okay, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Boom. Okay. Okay.
The world.
No, Scrag,
Again.
you are.
You can freak
We
out. It's,
are
I think that's... What
in
just
agreement.
happened?
You saved us.
We destroyed and saved at the same time.
And no one got hurt.
Well,
I
Well,
don't know if that's
okay,
necessarily
well,
true.
That's true. We all got very hurt. But no one
Voice
who
is
didn't
back.
volunteer to be here got hurt.
Hopefully.
Oh no.
Oh.
Misetics!
yeah.
Hello?
Are our things still working?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, it's
Anyone
just
get
talking
hurt?
to us.
Yeah, he was reaching out.
This is both magnificent and terrifying, and we're gonna get to go home.
Nora's just gonna like sit on the ground and like look at her paw. That did
I
it.
thought I was gonna die.
Sure.
Sasha, it seems
Yeah.
you were right that there was another way. And
Told you.
if this is what I suppose we're thinking it is, that the evil portion of Musanis is eradicated, then there will. I mean, is it possible there's no more evil in the?
Yeah,
just-
I don't
there's
think
still
I
evil-
would make that jump.
Is
There's
everybody
still going to be
just
evil
forever
people and
going to be
creatures.
good?
No,
Don't think
because
so.
it had to leech onto something in people. There's always going to be evil people, and there's still always going to be evil people who get magic. But now there isn't going to be evil people fueled by evil magic.
Well, we should work
Much-
to make sure that the people that are vulnerable and easily manipulated and all the targets of the Forgotten don't feel that way.
Hold on. Like, okay.
It's
so,
almost like the unwanted were correct.
Just hold on a second. We
100%.
killed
Not everyone
or
was 100%
got rid
correct.
of a part of a super duper powerful creature.
Mm-hmm.
We just killed off part of his personality.
Well, no, we killed off an evil being.
It was split into two,
Evil. It was just.
so it's not whole. Musanis, are you
It
whole
is.
now?
I don't know.
No, that is a stretch. You're guessing. That's speculation. I'm speculating as well.
It's objected to the objection, speculation.
But I mean,
Amazing.
they told
It was
us
a very long
Amazing.
void.
there were two
All
parts
that was
of the
law
same
books.
creature,
Yeah.
and one part is now gone.
It's not
and
gone. It's
So-
just been released.
When as you reach out, I did not know that a piece of me was missing.
Do you feel complete now?
No,
Well, fuck.
but I do feel those energies returning in time.
God.
Okay, well, less fuck.
So you will be complete.
Like, F you. I believe so.
Okay, I can go to sleep now. Oh, good gods. I'm sorry, but I think maybe I was accidentally responsible for the lightning, everyone. I'm sorry.
It's
Not your
not your
fault.
fault. You fell down and you just happen to be covered in metal.
My butt
fell down
caused
with
a spark, and
Well, because
Can
there's
we
no
go home now?
there's no evil in the world anymore. There's no that won't happen again.
I
No,
don't
there's still
know.
going to be evil in the world, Tavros. This wasn't the creation of all evil. This was just an evil. There's still
The
more
thing.
evil. This is
Tamarisk
just
wasn't
this
evil.
evil.
Tamarisk is like he's reeling from having just gone down and having Kor's butt kill him, and
The butt lightning.
yeah, and completely unaware of
Amazing.
anything related to magic, and so he's just like grasping at straws.
Nora's gonna just like kind of push him down. See, that wasn't nice.
No,
Evil
you
still
shouldn't have done
exists.
that.
Yes, so evil still exists because that wasn't nice.
Nor, what the?
I was trying to prove to him that bad still existed.
Well, but that was a good intention, so that was a good action. See,
Oh, for
I'm
the
No, it
love of the
wasn't.
ancients.
Oh, no.
I think
Tersha and Gran are just gonna fly back to the ship.
Okay, fair enough.
So what we need to do is just kill Thomas real quick so he knows that evil exists. Just heal him.
Amazing. Assuming you all begin to head back towards the ship. Nor, as you are getting ready to approach the ship, you hear a whisper inside your mind, a new one you haven't heard before. But as you sort of react to that, a strange, translucent blue shape appears for now the third time, as that femme-presenting mouse with the ponytail and habit appears, but this time actually speaks to you for the first time. Because Jordan's not here, I love Jordan. Because Jordan was going to play this character. My dear, do you still believe that your faith in your brother is what allowed you to perform this miracle here today?
It was my belief to save everyone, so yes.
She kind of puts like hands on your shoulders. You actually do feel this presence the first time. It's not just seeing it, you hear it. And Cor, you hear this and see this too. It was never your faith in your brother that gave you these abilities. It only strengthened them.
Magic was inside you the whole time, Dumbo. You didn't need the feather.
And kind of grabs your hand.
How do you know this? Who are you? I've seen you a few times now.
I'm Rose. Lady Rose is actually my full name. You recognize that name immediately because Martin's tragic history is well documented. And that early on, actually right about your age, he lost her. And not necessarily this fort, but Marshank is not far from here.
You were with Martin.
Tired of his spirit having all the fun. He just winks at you.
Thank you for your help.
Of course.
Is there anything we could do to help you? Or anything you need us to do?
No. You've done more than enough. And with the wind, she disappears.
Thank you. Thank you. And Nora will like straighten back up and look at Core and walk up and like shoulder bump him.
What? Why are you so violent? Were you just missing a fight?
It's in me the whole time.
What was in you?
Who's hungry?
Eat something weird.
Everything we eat is weird. And she takes something out of the bag and starts eating it.
Certainly. So, speed up time a little bit. Because there's only one destination, really, right?
So now we go home and feast and live happily ever after, right?
We'll see.
Oh man, we gotta go get fish first.
Don't will see me.
We
Don't will see me.
You head back home to Redwall Abbey, and it's odd because the doors are open and there's not a single sound.
If I don't hear anything, I think I'm just like dropping whatever bags I have and rushing in to see what the hell is going on.
Certainly.
I would also,
where are you headed?
Real quick. Nor would have. How long was the sea voyage?
3 days back.
3 days.
So you've been gone for 6 days total.
Nor probably would have said something the first checked in like the second day. She would have also been checked in the day before this.
Totally. Your dad?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure that went smoothly and you're
It did.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, running.
Still not understanding. How are you? Love, how are you doing? Okay, bye. So, Corey, as you take off running, where are you headed?
Main hall, then, the dining room, kitchens, like.
So, it is dead quiet. And as you trudge through the front gate, cut into the main hall, and you see the tapestry of Martin the Warrior. And it's really the smell that hits you first. Because it's the smell of scones, strawberry, calm.
Swear to God, Duval.
Deep breath. Take it all in.
You walk in, the door to Cavern Hole springs open. Surprise! And everyone's there, and there's trays and trays of food. You spoke earlier about going fishing. There is the classic grayling a la Redwall on a tray, ready to go, amongst several other things: apple and mint ice cream, candied chestnuts, typically a fall specialty, acorn crunch, which is like this like semi-sweet chocolate with like that kind of sits on acorns. Appetizers are, of course, the famous shrimp and hot root soup, as well as several all different kinds of cheeses: peach and elderberry brandy, raspberry cordial, strawberry cordial, October ale. Of course, it's been what you've been waiting for.
Cora is crying, just great big, like melon-sized tears of joy. Oh yes, I can finally have the feast.
Yes.
This is the greatest day of my life.
Not over. Still haven't eaten yet.
Surprise, motherfuckers. I had to have one more fun, a little bit. Anyway, as still currently, Abbott Clayton and his he sort of, there's an uproarious celebration at your arrival, hugs and kisses, and he sort of calls everyone's attention from the front. Welcome home. We're going to do something a little bit different this time, though, because typically he kind of motions behind him, where typically Ambrovina and him and all the elders sit. These are your seats now. And there's like another uproarious clap, like level of cheers and laughter, and the feast begins. Let me switch to something a little bit more appropriate in that regard. So, with all of that being said, what are you doing? Where are you headed? Actually, first things first. Actually, there's one thing I want to roll back for a second. As emotional as this reunion is, it definitely becomes frontal lobe the last time that you sat here, when Nora threw food, causing a food fight that impacted Tamarisk, that then directly led to this entire journey.
Thereby forever cementing Tamarisk's hate for this sort of activity.
Hate's fun.
It's fun
because he felt
canon.
Embarrassed and bullied, I'll say. And yeah, but that's funny. That's interesting.
I forgot this started with a food fight.
Oh yeah, your boy didn't. By the way, the grayling is incredible. You taste the butter, the rosemary, the garlic. There's even like a hint of white gooseberry wine as like a marinade. It's the best meal you've ever had, no doubt.
I think Tamarisk sitting at the table, he kind of looks over and reaches for a scone, and then looks over at Nor and breaks it in half and says, and gives one half to her, and he says, Try not
expecting you to throw it. I was totally waiting you to throw it.
Try not to misuse this one.
To hold it, I go. No, I promise. I promise you will not be caught in the crossfire of any more incidents like that again.
Sure, he won't.
I think at that.
Or,
I think.
and then she'll. Oh, sorry. She'll lean closer. Or at least I'll warn you first.
It could be fun to be a bit delinquent in our fame and glory now, because Abbot Clayton can't say anything to us.
We would 100% get away with it right now.
We would totally get away with this.
I feel like I'm sitting next to Core, so Core hears this entire thing.
Of course. Yeah.
Core's just stuffing his face, still crying, and then he hears Tamarisk say fun, and food just drops out of his mouth, and he's just like...
I did say that you have taught me some things along this journey, but I will say, let's wait until the end of the feast.
Yes, let's enjoy this first.
Because I don't want Cole to miss out on another feast.
I think he might kill us.
I think if someone was to ruin my feast now, the Redwall Abbey would be over, because my rage would be unquenchable.
Amazing. And you kind of overhear, and Norcore especially, you hear your brother off like about 3 or 4 tables away, and it seems to be shouting, it's just like, why did you take my strawberry salad? That was my strawberry and almond salad. And you see that one of the painted ones is like running away with, he's chasing after him. So no brooding for Tamarisk, because they're here.
Yeah, I know. I put that in the chat as a joke.
I know. I was just kidding. And
did you hear Tamarisk wants to have fun?
Who did you say that to?
I said that to Alice. Alice,
okay.
Tamarisk wants to have fun. Did you hear that?
Be sure we didn't bring back Doppelganger.
I should try to dispel him, shouldn't I?
Oh God.
No, you know what? Maybe we'll keep. If this one wants to have fun, let's have some fun.
Okay, we should have the fun with this doppelganger first. Then I'll try to dispel him later, if it seems bad.
Amazing.
At hearing all of this, both
Certainly.
Saoirse and Gran are going to take a half a scone each,
Sure.
and Saoirse's going to lob hers at Nor, and Gran's going to lob hers at Abbot Clayton.
I would like to counter that moment, because I believe this is my NPC. You're right, though. She was listening.
Do I see it happening?
Oh, absolutely, no doubt. And they just like with a wing, woof. And you hear Grant just go, "Lighten up, old man."
I think when Alice sees them, we think like Alice is gonna wink at Nora and just like, all right, let's do it.
Tamarisk, it's time.
Okay, I've had enough food, I suppose.
And
It's all delivery at this moment. Like,
Right.
you know, it's like
Yeah.
the food is being delivered to you
absolutely.
very fast with velocity, but it's still delivered.
There was some oatmeal or something that I grabbed with my hands.
Yeah.
Yes, random oatmeal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that on the table?
About that.
100%.
Okay, I would like to do the same thing,
No doubt.
Okay.
because it is going to be the messiest thing possible.
Yeah, and as this melee begins, you see this small mouse demon hop up on the chair, and then onto the table, like move, like kind of displacing some bowls. We've been waiting for this for a whole entire season. Bam! Gets hit with the oatmeal, and just absolutely loves it.
Lord
And it
jumps
just-
on the table and yells, "Food fight!"
Absolutely, and it absolutely just collapses into disarray,
It
and
was.
you actually see like Ambrovina like come in and like, and even in the melee, if you're paying attention, Abbot Clayton walks over to her and just grabs her hand. Maybe not this time.
I just want to say that throughout this entire campaign, you've seen Tamarisk scared, and you've seen him upset, you've seen him nauseated, you've seen him anxious and worried and unsure of himself. But in this moment, this might be the only time you've ever seen him giggling and laughing on the floor as he's crawling to get a scone to reload and come back up.
Absolutely.
You know what? Oh, you know what Alice is gonna do?
Uh-oh.
Alice is gonna figure out where. What's her name? The mouse.
Yes! 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 Better trap them.
Well, okay. As you go, well, so Caroline would be amongst the melee.
Yeah.
But as you go to find her, Nor, you have a special delivery as a entire layer of this strawberry cake is dumped on your head. And your older brother, been waiting for you to come back. Thanks for the present.
You
And then gives you a big hug.
I thought you needed friends finally in your life.
I have them now. That's great. I don't. One day they hate me. One day they love me. It's interesting.
You should be used to that. And she hugs him back.
Yeah. He's just like
And in that hug, then like face plants on his shirt, so like the cake gets all over.
100.
Like,
Yeah. Like, oh, that's
like
not
rubs cake on his shirt.
Oh, come on! And he throws it right back at you. So Alice, make a perception check.
24.
Jesus Christ. Good Lord. So in the midst of the melee, somehow completely undeterred, and also not really being targeted by anyone, she has a bit of a grin on her face as Caroline is just sipping a bit of mint tea by herself. Yeah.
You know what? What good is all this stuff? I can't like have a little bit of fun with magic. I'm gonna Misty Step next to her.
Oh, goodness gracious, Alice! A bit of warning.
Not taking part in this.
I'm enjoying my spectator status, I suppose.
How about a nice focused attack? And she'll point at Tamarisk in there. And she'll grab one of the pies. It's like, how about this one?
Not as sneaky as you.
Watch and learn. And you know what? She's like, come with me. I am going to cast Pass Without a Trace.
I knew you were going to do that. Yes. Absolutely.
And just like I'll lead her like kind of through
100%. Oh my god! So she is a +0 to dexterity. She rolled a 16 plus 10, 26.
Holy shit!
So the Pink Panther theme starts to play, and I imagine it's a you go one way, I go the other way type scenario.
Oh no, it's just like trail behind.
Okay.
Type of thing.
Certainly. All right. Cool. Tamarisk, as the unbeknownst customer of this, where are you headed? What are you doing? What are you up to?
I mean, I'm having so much fun. I'm just doing my thing.
Absolutely. And Alice, you're up first there. What would you like to do?
What Alice is gonna do is she's gonna tap Tamarisk on the shoulder, have him face toward where we both are.
Sure.
And then she'll say sneak attack, and then she'll like just dash past him.
Amazing.
Let her do the job. Let her do that.
welcome home, dear. Bam.
Oh, okay.
Unless you resist.
I love it. I love it so much.
No, I would be very surprised, and I don't think I would know that anything was coming.
Certainly.
Is it a full-on lemon meringue pie situation?
No, in this case, it's strawberry rhubarb.
Okay.
So you are covered in sticky red ridiculousness.
Okay. All right, I'll probably wipe my eyes so I can see. And now, upon seeing it's Caroline, I'm going to reach for the most goopiest ammunition that I could find, which is
Absolutely
the soup.
Holy shit. Okay.
The hot root soup.
Sure. Certainly.
And I am going to grab the pot.
Uh-huh. The entire pot.
The
Okay.
entire pot.
Okay.
And I'm gonna, because I'm in it right now.
Yeah, certainly.
Like, this is pent up fun. Being,
Oh no!
What a word.
being expressed like a volcano.
Certainly. Yep.
You know.
Yeah, and I would like to say that it is still pretty hot.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, then.
Oh yeah. I just wanted to I was like,
Oh no, we've
because in my mind I was like, is he? Because I was like, in my mind it would be really funny if Terrence just fucking blows it, just on and Bill knows that, but I was like, it's hot, it's served hot. It's
I would definitely not want to hurt anybody.
Okay, yeah, because you've only been really food fighting for the last 10 or 15 minutes.
Okay, because maybe it's a cold.
Cold soup.
Whatever, minestrone, is that cold?
There's. I will tell you though, if you wanted another soupy target, there is a spring minestrone soup actually that is served cold.
Yeah, so I'm gonna grab that then, and I'm gonna suggestively yeah, you want to go?
Yes, I think I do.
Suggestively.
And then I Gatorade her with.
I think she immediately regrets it, because she wasn't expecting that. She's like, oh, it's not exactly as sweet as I was hoping for, but all right. I suppose that's you and choices, I swear.
I'm having so much fun. Look at this.
It is quite the display, isn't it? How are you feeling? The news in April, who is stuck in time, which is a wonderful visual.
I think.
Oh, damn! There she goes.
Yep, there we go.
All right.
Okay.
It's all right. We'll try and see if she comes.
She said her computer just crashed.
Oh no! That's all right. We'll get it back when we can.
All right. I am actually going to, so that the overlay is taken care of. I'm gonna hop in.
Sure. Yeah, just for double bill. All right. Fair enough. Anyway, I'll. There you go. Ooh yeah, amazing. Okay, so let me know when you're ready. Why don't we check on somebody else there, Sisha?
Hi.
While we're waiting on Bill to set everything back up. Gran sort of covered in this key lime pie mixture. I am way too old for this. But I suppose this
too old
is
for a
what...
food fight.
I don't know, Saoirse. I don't think. All right. I suppose. Well, I mean, I'm wearing it literally. You all really did it, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
So as I was not. Actually, I was trying to do some sort of a pep talk in regards to the stories and stuff, but I didn't really, if I'm being honest, I didn't really believe it to be it. Well, certainly now.
Yeah.
What do they call the children of destiny when they aren't children anymore, Saoirse?
Don't know.
Well, you better hurry up before history decides for you.
Given the choices we make, perhaps it's best.
I don't think it would stop you regardless.
No, probably not.
Endlessly proud of all of you and your friends. Who knew? I certainly would not have made the bet that I'd be certainly covered in key lime pie here, but that we'd be here. And, pardon the pun, wanted. We'll cut back to Tamarisk. Welcome back, April.
Sorry, Tamara's having fun. My computer was just like,
nope. Yep, your computer was like, I can't do it.
This isn't real. This must mean something's wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Time to crash.
Indeed.
So I believe she said something along the lines of like you and choices.
Yes. What is it with you and choices, essentially?
Right. I think I would say to that, you know, on the boat, I had a long time to sit and think about what my choices have done for me. And for a long time, I thought that I had made a lot of very bad choices, things that had made my life considerably worse. But in the end, they added up to something. And they added up to something that was good. And that not only was good for me, but somehow good for everybody. I mean, I don't mean to sound like a braggart, but we saved Redwall.
Sounds like more than once, in many a day.
So, yes, you're not wrong, and I think now he's sort of like still wanting to participate in the fight, so he's like lobbing a scone or something like that. But he says, but now I'm here and I'm happy. Maybe for the first time ever.
Because she kind of smiles at that. So, what of your former home?
My parents are fisher. They fish for a living. They're wonderful and simple people, and they want the best for me. And at the time, I thought that the Long Patrol was the best for me, and they supported that, even though, of course, it meant that I was not going to be with them.
Right as you say that, across the room, you hear blood and vinegar, and Collector throws a pie at Ambervina.
And then he says, but
she goes like, I suppose so.
But then I chose to leave it and search for somebody that I thought I loved. Oh, April said it crashed again.
Damn, that's rough, buddy.
Yeah, all good.
That's the worst. Oh well.
Good news is I just did it, and so I'm going on muscle memory now. People might be in the wrong
It's fine.
spots.
It's fine. Leave it be. It's the
Yep.
finale. Who cares? All right.
And he says, you know, as I said before, this is the first time I've perhaps ever been happy. And I'd like to explore that happiness.
How would you like to explore that? Tamara scribbled.
By seeing what the world has to offer.
So Redwall will not be your home? You're going to travel?
Yes, I think so.
Would you be down for a road partner?
Tamarisk, I swear to God, if you don't kiss her, I'm gonna beat you.
I have to be honest, I made a choice. Many of my choices have been based upon some pursuit or rejection of love, and I would like this one to not be based on that. So, join if you'd like. I do like you, but that is not what I want to drive me at the moment.
To be fair, if I don't go, you won't know which way you'll end up going, platonic or otherwise. Seems like there's one way to find out, don't you think?
Well, to be honest, I'm okay with that.
All right. Seems like we're going to need to promote someone to the infirmary then.
To be clear, if you would like to come, I would love to have you, but I cannot promise any part of my heart.
That is all right.
Can't promise any part of my heart.
I'd rather go and find out if it is 0, any, or somewhere in the middle, than stay here and wonder. Also, pretty good with a mace, apparently.
Well, I am good with all things ranged, so as long as you're okay with being the frontline fighter.
Don't worry, Tamarisk. I'll protect you.
Stand behind us.
I think I may need a bit of training in that regard, but
I'm just imagining, just to break character for a second.
yeah, sure.
The first sign of trouble, Tamarisk is gone.
Yeah.
And she turns around and is like, what do I do? What do I do? Shh.
One way to find out.
Don't worry, I'm here. Just hiding.
But I think that's settled, at least for now. We'll see where that goes in a minute. But I want to do a quick round the table look as we close out this feast and transition into a bit of a denouement / epilogue sequence here. Perfect.
What was that word?
Denouement, an epilogue?
Denouement? What is that?
Yeah, that's.
I'm
You'll see in a
confused.
second. You'll see in a second.
It's part of the storytelling arc. It goes rising action, climax, falling action, denouement, epilogue.
Yeah. What English class have you been in, Crystal? Jeez.
I haven't
I'm
been
just
in
kidding.
English
I'm
class
just
since
kidding.
I dropped out of high school.
Yeah,
so
hey, I'm just kidding.
No
It's
clue.
not a big deal. It's no big deal. No worries. Essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to go sort of back around and check in with everybody at the feast, and then we're going to do another check-in about a few months from now and see where everybody is. So think about what you want to do. So, Alice, how does the feast conclude for you?
Good. She is keeping an eye out on Terrace to make sure Terrace doesn't like strike out. She works so hard.
It probably looked like it wasn't going
just
well
like,
for
just
a while.
Just like trying to figure out, like, we're both very perceptive. We know, like, we just like doing.
Yeah.
How did Alice feel when he dumped the soup on her?
Yeah. That's a good question.
It's like, good. It's having fun.
Yeah. I love that.
Wouldn't have personally chose the soup, but it's all good fun. But yeah, I think Alice is just having, just after that, there, like, that little plan is done. She is going to just have fun, show off as much as she can.
Okay.
Just revel in this.
After a while, as things begin to settle down a bit, Dad walks over to you, gives you a big hug. Okay, now that you've saved everyone, can you just like maybe stay here for like at least like 2 days, so that your old dad doesn't have a heart attack? Just for 2 days, just a little bit.
All right, fine. If you're gonna pull my leg on that, I will stay for 2 days.
I would pull your leg, but I have a cane, so that's not really how.
Someone has to look out for you, too. So for a little while.
Someone has to look out for me.
Someone overexerted himself during the fight and isn't as young as he used to be.
Yeah, okay, you're right. No, I said that out loud again. That's like the third time in the same like 10-day period. Oh no, you're growing up. Oh, gods. All right. Fine.
But yeah, I'd love to stay.
Okay.
It's been a long time without. Grew fond of this place. Being on a ship for a week does it.
That sounds awful.
It makes noises that are disconcerting and it weighs side to side, but it was fine.
He just gives you a big hug, regardless of what you're covered in.
We're both probably we've been in it.
He's been more on the. He hasn't been on the offensive. He's been like dodging poorly, essentially, not wanting to hurt himself further from that perspective. Nora Core, as your father wraps you both up in a large hug. One of these days we're going to need to figure out who's going to be the next skipper. I can't be the skipper without us forever.
No.
Cool.
This is.
Of course, we would choose each other. Yes, of course. As it's happening, Abbot Clayton walks over. Pardon me. I overheard talk of some skipper, and I wanted to perhaps throw a wrench in the equation. Noreen, as I mentioned before, I was thinking about perhaps it's time for me to release the title of Father Abbot from me. And I was thinking Mother Abbess from Noreen would be really interesting.
No, that would be.
Oh,
no, that would be no. Then I
actually bring life to the position.
That's a wonderful
No offense.
idea.
would want me to do things.
you gotta like stab chuckles, like you got stabbed in the heart, but like.
I think that should get. Cole would be so much better. That Cole is so good at leading people.
I would be. Are you kidding?
Fair, while I agree in some part, Cole already has a title and a role as Abbey Champion.
But that champion just gets to sit around and doesn't do anything. He just gets to be the champion, and everyone does nice things for him. We should give him a job. Abbot Father Champion Cole.
What? You're just making stuff up now.
never had someone serve as Father Abbot and as Abbot Champion before.
This is the first time for everything. And now, in the time of new beginnings, wouldn't this be the best time for a new change?
Well, it's not something you have to think about or commit to right now. But you can give it some thought, and I can walk you through the history of things, and, well...
I would like to learn the history. That sounds interesting.
All right. Plus, if anything, you've shown me that we do need to change some things around here.
The painted ones haven't caused too much trouble, have they?
Oh, they've caused a lot of trouble, actually.
Okay, good.
But that's, I'm learning that that's actually all right. And, well, if you have any questions in the meantime, let me know. And let me go back to dodging scones, if you excuse me.
As soon as he turns around.
It seems I failed at that as well.
Odd choice to say, yes, I want this job that I've ever seen. What would I expect from you, Nora?
Why would I want that job? It's so boring.
Is it though?
The history does sound really interesting.
Not to me.
Also, it doesn't have to be boring. I mean, come on.
We'll see. This is not the time for this. Ah! And she starts just like speed
back
throws,
into it.
like random things.
Absolutely. Saoirse, what about you? How's the feast end for you?
Well, Gran and I are completely covered in random food.
You're not sure if you have your dark blue and purple feathers anymore.
She's gonna once the food fight has kind of calmed down, Saoirse's gonna just cast prestidigitation on her and Gran.
Yeah, I don't need your assistance in all of this.
Yeah, well, I can do it, so why not?
Well, since we're here for a while, you want to do something off limits?
Ooh. What?
Follow me. And she flies
Okay.
out of Great Hall.
I will go with her.
And she flies on to the roof of the Abbey. And there is this, like, what appears to be this broken makeshift board that was likely some of damage and as part of the onslaught. And there is, as she flies in, assuming you follow, you find yourself in a loft. A loft that was once known as Warbeak Loft. Initially, the home of the Spara tribe. And there's a lot more history there that we could talk through, but for the sake of brevity, I'm not saying that the infirmary was not nice and the dorms were wonderful and all of that, but if we're going to stay, Saoirse, let's make something of our own. After all, we're already rewriting history.
Agreed.
And you begin to set up. And when we come back to the few months later, I'll ask you for a new name. Is that everybody? Tamarisk, right back to you. What's the rest of the feast look like for you?
Probably continuing to enjoy himself, and then I imagine he's probably one of the last ones to go, because you can only throw food so much before you kind of get bored. And then I think he goes to the top of the wall that is like right by the gate And he's going to climb those stairs that are up there, and kind of assuming, of course, that they're all rebuilt, because I think that's where he...
In the process, yeah.
Yeah,
it's decent enough, but not great.
sure. And maybe that's what it is that it's like half rebuilt, and then he kind of goes and sits on the top of the wall that is being built. And I think he enjoys being silent, and he does whatever the opposite of brooding is. Like, if you've ever had a really fucking good night and you just sort of sit by yourself and reflect on just everything that got you to where you are at the moment.
He's chilling.
That's what he's doing. He's chilling.
So, as
Something
you're
about that sounds so wrong.
as you're
I
chilling,
know, right?
you hear the familiar sound of clinking armor. And only one person sounds like that. As you see, covered in gold and black armor with a red cape and familiar badger face is Lord Raphael of Salamanastron. He slowly walks over to you. How is your afternoon going, Tamarisk?
This conversation was going to happen eventually, wasn't it?
Yes.
I think Tamarisk at that probably swings his legs like back towards the Abbey, so his back is facing out of the Abbey, kind of, but he's still sitting on the wall, and he says, Raphael, I've had a wonderful afternoon.
Good. And I don't plan to change that either. Rivina told me of you and your friend's journey. Typically, a subject of mine that goes AWOL typically is hunted for, and, well, you know typically where it goes from there. But I actually only came up here to tell you two things. Congratulations. And given what you've done, if you so choose, there's a promotion waiting for you back home. Don't answer me yet. If you let it draw, you're covered in refuse. So I couldn't take that seriously, even as you are. But even if you decline, your charges are no more.
Well, that is a significant weight off of my shoulders, and was definitely something that I was pretty consistently worried about. So thank you for that.
Fortunately for you, you are interesting enough for me to travel to Redwall 3 times in as many days. I'm not getting any younger, kiddo.
Well, at least it seems as though each successive time you came here, it was with a distinctly different reason.
Well, first time to kill you, second time to save you, third time to release you and or promote you. Not bad.
I've found that I grow on people.
And he sort of just clinks back around. Either way, cheeks. I'll be seeing you. He heads down the stairs.
Before you go, I don't know what the standard long patrol greeting is. Is it a handshake, a salute, a Roman hand clasp?
Oh, to him it would be a salute, certainly.
Okay.
Typically with like if you have like especially like a pole arm, it's usually like a salute like kind of like this, or if a sword like this.
Okay. I don't have. You know what? Maybe I have a baguette that I've stolen.
You don't have your rapier?
Okay, fine. I've got my rapier.
I mean, you can certainly salute with a baguette. I am down to clown.
So
like,
I have. You know what? This is a turning point for rapier. This is a turning point for
turning point for rapier. Yeah, that makes sense.
He doesn't immediately grab his rapier. Instead, he uses the baguette that he's been nibbling on, and he does the sword salute with the baguette.
And he shing his gorgeous golden greatsword, and just quietly salutes to you, almost like the sun hitting it, almost blinding you for a second.
And then Tamara sits back down, swings his legs back over, and breaks the baguette in half, and then starts chewing it.
Amazing. So, a few months later.
Hold on.
Hold on.
I do have one thing that Core would have done.
I would love that. Go for it. Give it to me.
Just one thing. Once the feast is over and everything is kind of chilled out, Core goes over to the tapestry with Martin and stuff on it.
Perfect.
That exists in the Abbey, and he takes the sword off. He puts hooks up above the tapestry, and he puts the sword above it. And he's like, that looks right.
Awesome. Which actually reminds me, because I jumped the gun a little bit, because that night, all of you have a visitor in your dreams. Martin the Warrior. Children of Destiny. What's over to you, Saoirse? How do you feel about your fate now?
Still control my own fate.
Yes. Yes, you do. And for what it's worth, all of you, Redwall Abbey's in good hands. Don't eat too much, Core. Don't want my armor to have to need an adjustment, okay?
But I've already... Never mind.
He just gives you kind of a half smirk. Not known for his smile, certainly. And he'll nod to all of you. And you see him kind of like spin around and reach out a hand. And Rose appears. And they walk hand in hand, essentially out of your dream. So, a few months later, full season actually, the end of, fortunately weather-wise, the end of the spring cherry blossom is beckoned by what appears to be several thousand of cherry blossoms that just seem to flown in on the wind from somewhere. It's for the Dibbins especially, it is the coolest fucking thing. So where do we find everyone a few months later? Whoever wants to go first. Rollies, no.
Roll for it.
Roll for it. No. We're gonna start. We're gonna start with Saoirse. So.
Okay.
What do these next few months look like?
They are spent completely renovating that loft. To where it winds up being a lot bigger than it was. And it's got more than enough room for both Saoirse and Gran and really any other crow that wants to be there. And she wants to honor the history of the place, but she'd also like to put her own kind of mark on it. And so instead of Warbeak's Loft, she calls it Bav Katha Lochta, which means Battle Crow Loft.
Okay. You'll send that to me so I can add it to my notes.
I can do that.
Thank you. And you probably spend some time, since Nora's looking into the history of things, sort of getting an idea of the history of the Sparrow. And though you are not Sparrow, or part of the Sparrow tribe, these were specifically sparrows, I mean, a new history is being created. Tamarisk, where are you off to over the next few months?
I think Tamarisk is, I suppose, going to go with Caroline. Just wondering. I imagine,
Okay.
probably head down to wherever, man. I've now transcended to become a hippie.
Oh, that's interesting.
This is like the military guy's first time out of the military. His hair grows out, just becomes a hippie.
That makes sense.
Listen, I still have that beard.
I
You know
love it.
what? Maybe it was the beard that did it.
It was the beard. No, the beard's gone. No, that didn't last very long.
Okay.
But that's interesting.
Yeah, the reason I said that is because so much of what drove me before was the trade-off between duty and desire, and now I'm just sort of, and I kind of always chose duty, and I think that doesn't prevent me from helping in situations where somebody needs help, but I kind of want to explore desire a bit.
Love that. That's awesome. Cool. Probably spend some time in Skullkillar. That's a pretty hippie town.
Yeah.
Do you head to Southward?
You know what? Actually, great point. I'm going to the slides. I didn't try the slides. I want to slide.
Yes. I love that so fucking much.
You know what?
Your first act of freedom is going to a water park.
Yeah.
That's fucking great. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, so 3 months later, you find me in Skullkillar, hanging out with Caroline, and just sort of being like, the whole way we're traveling there, I'm like, there's this great place I know of. It's very fancy. People are super fun and cool, and I think they have slides.
Slides?
Yes, slides. Do you know about slides?
No, I don't. I can't say that I'm quite familiar. Other than the demons make them with makeshift satchels sometimes.
Yes, these are great, large U-shaped contraptions that you go down whole floors of tree size.
I certainly would love to try that. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, and when you get the treehouse, like there's just this like small little like cluster bombs of blown away. Like we walked through a wall and we're in a forest and just ding 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 ding.
I believe the local translation of Skullclaw is magic treehouse.
Well, I suppose that does make sense. It's a bit on the nose, but all right. So where does their relationship go?
I don't know, man. That's not for me to say. I think that's not in Tamarisk's mind right now.
Cool. That's one way to find out. And I will tell you, she's okay with that.
Cool.
Regardless of where it goes. Fascinating. Alice, what about you?
Swear to God, Prince.
That might be my favorite one you've ever done.
That was great.
That might be my favorite one. That might be my favorite one. In cheeks, well played. Yeah, that's my favorite one you've ever done.
Bravo.
Say the best for the finale, yeah?
Yeah.
Good Lord. No, totally cool. All right, Alice, what do you got?
Okay, I think Alice, during the adventure, found that she had a stronger connection to nature than she initially thought. It unlocked some part of her, and she realizes her still has a few years of being guardian of this area, so before she gets roped into more responsibility, she is going to travel, see what there is to see.
Certainly.
Stay away from the cities, stay away from anything but just connect with nature, I think.
Okay.
Deal with her restless spirit.
Where does she head to first?
I think she's going to go north.
Oh, interesting. Very nice. Into the Badlands, or more north proper into the open land?
She can make decent trips up the alley. Probably open land, probably a little bit. Maybe in the marshes, we'll see.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Nice. And it is you find some pretty fascinating folk there. That, especially if you tell stories of the unwanted, things like that, you get and maybe this is, whether it's surprising or not, the response is essentially we've been fine here. I don't get it. For whatever that's worth. After a while, you are probably called back to Redwall because your dad is starting to lose his fucking mind. Because you did what you said you were going to do 2 days, and then gone. And then now it's not you're gone for a week and back.
You're gone
for
He absolutely
weeks.
Wishes I had sending. But no,
oh boy, does he! I actually, as a matter of fact, thank you for that. Thank you for that layup. Because Nora, can you please just check in on Alice? If you just
I
have
checked in Alice yesterday. We promised Alice that we promised Alice that we would only check in every other day.
We did.
Yes, we had to remember.
Okay, give her space, right? Okay,
give her space.
Yeah,
if we check in on her every moment, she's not going to come back.
Oh, is she going to come back at all?
Yes, she's going to come back. She said she's going to come back. Just give her space.
Okay. By the way, doesn't work. Checks in with you probably every 3 days. And then after a while, he'll be worried about bothering you, and so that's fantastic. Core Nor. We've had some decisions to make.
I think that's a great way to segue into Nor checks in on Tamarisk and Alice every couple days.
Sure.
They will randomly get just a, oh, it's so tiring being here. You've left us. We got back and you left right when we had to make all the decisions. And you're not coming back anytime soon. And now your father's always blah, blah, blah. And Tamarisk, they keep asking if you're going to join back. And they don't know why they're contacting us. Why did you say that we were going to be the place you were going to stay? And just...
You hear come back from Tamarisk. You know, decisions are sort of like leaves. You know, they flit in and flit out without much meaning.
Tamarisk is on drugs.
What does that even mean?
Tamarisk is on drugs, and I don't. We'll see him again.
The two of us just like went very, very hippie. Like,
and this whole time, Nor is, I'm not going to be the abbot. This is ridiculous. But every day is with the abbots. Every day is studying, learning more, slowly taking on more and more responsibilities, fighting this tooth and nail every step of the way, but also 100% embracing it, working very hard to get the painted ones integrated and not just things in a tower, and actually working by pestering Tamarisk a little bit to start getting some more teamwork between the cities. Like, I know you don't want any responsibility, but just tell them to return my goals. Just go in there and make sure the letters are getting delivered, and I won't bother you for 4 days.
Who is this to?
Tamarisk.
Okay, great. Promoted to letter to mail carrier. I love that. Colonel in the War Patrol and outstanding.
He's now
Core,
a bike messenger.
I love it. Core, what about you?
So Core has gone out and been recruiting people to help him with a project. Core has been building a ship. Core wants to honor his mother, and he wants to get back out on the water and be like his mom and be a pirate again. And he knows that Nora can't join him, and he knows he has responsibilities to Redwall.
Sure.
So he's like, you better make sure you have message prepared every day, because if anything ever happens, I need to be able to come back.
I mean, you're not going anywhere. This is like, they're like, we just don't say it's happening, but we both know it's going to happen.
Of course. Back and forth. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
Nora also wants to go, but knows she can't, and knows that for the first time that they're both going to be okay without each other, but need to do this without each other.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly.
But you're going to take the sword, right? You have to, like, you can't just leave that hanging there.
If Martin wants me to have the sword, Martin will sing me the sword.
I swear to God, I am telling you to take the sword, and if I am the abbot of Redwall, then I get to say that Martin says take the sword.
No, you don't.
I do.
Martin actually delivered me the sword in a dream.
And you still have it because Martin hasn't taken it back. And as the future head of Redwall Abbey, I say you should
some young hero who wants to have
it's your sword now.
We don't want it's your sword. You have to take it just in case, like, what if something happens?
If something happens, don't you think I can protect myself at this point?
No, you don't fight. That's the problem. That's why you need a sword that does random things sometimes that helps you.
I fight when I need to. You've seen it.
True.
Yes, with the
Nor,
sword.
I'm not scared anymore.
I know you're not, but I am. Just take at least a sword.
Sure,
oh, here. And Nora's gonna, like, unclip her mace that she still carries. Take this, at least.
Don't you need this?
I have the sword in my abbey that I'm not leaving, so...
He takes the mace. He's crying again.
No.
You just do this to me. He just hugs you. I'm gonna miss you.
You're not leaving for another couple weeks. If we're gonna have at least one piece between there, hopefully we'll maybe find Alice and Tamara, see if they'll join you with something. Or...
Let them go live.
No, not
Us.
anytime soon. But if you find them, no, I mean, like, if you're up and down the coast, send them a message so they could have dinner.
You can send them a message on my behalf because I don't know how to send messages.
Oh, that's true. We need to teach you that. Shit.
I'm gonna take Door. That'll make
now
you
you're
feel
really
any
not
better.
going to survive. Neither one of you are coming back, and now I'm going to be an only child. I'm an only child, Martin. Why would you do this to me?
I love you, Nora.
I love you too, Paul. And I know you're going to do great things. And I cannot wait for you to come back with your stories.
Your youngest brother, Torian's like, I'm right here!
Holy shit, where did you come from? You're still alive? You didn't die in the fight. Huh.
I've been busy!
Wow.
Proud of you.
You're a monster.
And yet they made me abbot. Fools, all of them.
I've been busy in the orchard. That's why all the pies and things were so awesome at the feast.
Oh, you did that?
You're welcome. Yeah.
I'm proud of you. Good
You're not the
job.
only one with a job, Noreen.
I feel like I am the only one sometimes. Have you seen the list of things they want us to do? What need to do?
That's a you problem. Bye. Gone.
If Door's coming with me, he has to deal with the painted ones. Good for him.
Yes.
You hear distant screaming as they initiate their new best friend. So as we transition into the epilogue here, anything else that anyone wants to do or say?
I don't have anything else. I think we did it. That told the story.
Okay. So two major things. One, about a year later, Nor, that dust that you gathered.
I always have it on me, by the way.
I figure you might, because that has germinated into a much smaller seed, but a familiar color. And secondly, as there was someone missing from the feast, as Elijah was off on his own mission. We sort of zoom in on the gatehouse, and shortly after the ridiculous feast, at the time, Abbot Clayton, soon to be something else, a different title, is writing a letter and handing it to Elijah. And Elijah leaves and heads south towards Southsward. Written on the letter, it says, "A letter to my son." Inside of it, it says, "Dearest Johan, I hope this letter finds you well. I'm sure by now you've heard of your sister's passing. There is much regret in my heart, but I do not ask for your forgiveness. I only hope that one day, someday soon, you can find it in your heart to come pay us a visit. I believe in the truth that you invested time and pain into, to the point of having, well, several creatures follow in your footsteps. Though the unwanted mission ended here at the gates of Redwall, it has provided us an opportunity to reflect and adjust. We have begun to rebuild, as I'm sure you continue to do for Castle Floret. I hope the cherry blossoms make it all the way south. What I've realized as old as I get, and my son, I am now old, young one, we never stop learning. We never stop loving. We never give up hope, even when despair surrounds us and chokes us. I've learned more in the spring of the cherry blossom thanks to our young ones than in the last 15 seasons of my life. They may need to change their title. Children of Destiny won't fit for much longer if they haven't outgrown it already. You know the saying about the gates of Redwall Abbey. They are open to all. Its tables laden, but more importantly, now more than ever, so also are our hearts. Yours in this life and the next. Brother Clayton Grubbelly, Abbey Recorder of Redwall Abbey. And that's where we end our story for tonight.
Oh my god.
Fuck. Can't believe I got through that without crying. Oh my god. Thank you all so much for being here. Fuck, there it is.
I knew it. Gonna happen. Yeah. Let it go. Let it go.
It's cool. It's cool. This has been the most rewarding thing I've ever done. I feel like it was difficult. Fucking schedule bosses are bullshit. But fucking hell. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, my incredible cast, for going on this journey with me. I am forever grateful. I really am. Oh, God. What? Oh, damn. Anyway, hey, will it be season 2? Give me a minute.
Oh, hell yeah.
Give me a minute. We'll talk. We'll see what happens, eh? But yeah, I'm fucking hell. Fucking 19, 22, fucking dispel. Okay, cool. Cool.
Yep.
Honestly, I couldn't be happier with that, to be very honest with you. So before we get out of here, for now, there are of course more stories to tell. Maybe somebody else will be sitting in this seat for a little while, maybe a long while. But Gates of the Amphitheater are open to everyone too, man. So come collab with us. So let's go back around. Fuck, so happy. Let's start with April again, because that's always fun.
Hi everyone, I'm April. I played Norraine, the clerical otter, twin sister of Kor, soon to be abbot of Redwall Abbey, destroyer of evil seeds. Yeah, I'm doing stuff. Follow me online, but more importantly, thank you, Duval, for this story, for these characters, for this world that you created. Well, the world that you modified and spun for us, and letting us walk all over something that meant so much to you, and invent water slides and save the world.
Indeed.
Thank you, and thank you everyone in this game, and especially to you, Core Prince, for being my twin brother. And I turned this whole outro into a I love you all, and I don't know how that happened, but I love you all, and thank you everyone for watching and participated, and everyone who else. Wait, what happened to Brother Yurik? Okay, I need another epilogue later.
Somewhere building napalm.
He is fine. I did actually write something down, but I forgot. He eventually, for better or for worse, unless nor future Mother Abbess objects, he will be the head of the cellar. He would
yes, he
run
is.
The show.
We are great friends now.
As long as he doesn't make the napalm, it's fine.
I go down and have a drink and vent to him quite frequently.
Certainly, and he definitely will enjoy that for sure. And yeah, he was absolutely there. I just was like, as you know, running through like 50 fucking
It's
NPCs.
fine.
It's fine. It's a lie.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Prince.
Oh, hey, I'm Prince. I've been playing Core. Yeah, you can find me around the internet as Dimples and Dice. I'm doing stuff and things. Follow me on Twitter for updates on all of that. But again, much like April said, thank you to all of you. Y'all are dope. This has been an amazing time. Thank you for everybody who's watched. All of the comments that come through that Duval shares with us, they make my day. Thank you, Lynn, for the art.
Oh my
Thank
god,
you, Lynn.
That's
it's
gonna
phenomenal.
Be a tattoo for sure.
like I know the last minute clutch stuff you did on Pac. So like everything.
I don't
like,
even know how fucking amazing.
How did you do that in a weekend? What the fuck?
So yeah,
Hyper focus.
I've had a wonderful time.
Oh my god, amazing.
Yeah. Thank all of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Move on past me.
Get out of here. Yeah. Speaking of badass artiste, Lynn, what's up?
Hey, oh, this was so much fun. Thank you, Duvall. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Casper. This has been a lovely game. Be able to play this with y'all, but yeah. I'm Lynn. Gremlin art pretty much everywhere. On the socials, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. You can find my art, like the ones that are up here. All over the place. You can find me probably on this channel for Blood and Blood. Plays that game where I play 100% opposite. Terrifying little monster.
Oh my god, that character is they're terrifying. Absolutely. Alice is pretty scary, but this is a different level of scary for sure. Oh my god, wow. Also hire Lynn for like literally every art thing that you ever want to do. So that way I can say that I can't hire her because you have made her too busy. Because that would be terrible and amazing at the same time. Crystal.
Hi. Hello. My name is Crystal Fear, and I am currently my brain is broken. Good God, y'all. This campaign has been phenomenal. And Duval, I need a season 2. I'm not ready to let Saoirse go. I don't know if you can tell that, but I'm not ready to let
I don't know.
I'm
not really feeling it. Roll, make a persuasion check. No. I'm just kidding.
So, for right now, I am going to be in a one-shot on the 29th over on Queen's Court. And that is at... What time did we decide on? I don't even remember. It will be on my Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, I am at Crystal_Fear on Twitter and at Crystal Fear pretty much everywhere else. Follow me over there. You'll see what all I'm doing. You'll probably see a whole lot of gushing about how amazing this freaking game was and how goddamn honored I am to be able to play with these amazing people. Like I've been a supporter of the amphitheater since its beginning.
You may have been the first one.
I think
me and Bill talked about this. We think that you're the first sub ever, actually.
I think I was.
So amazing. Anything else?
And no, that's just I love you guys, and I'm so honored to be here.
Fuck yeah. The man that I owe all of the debts into Valhalla with for trusting me with his journey and running tech, and my co-pilot to my co-pilot, the Batman to the Batman. Bill, what's up?
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to do any plugs, mostly because I have nothing a whole lot on the agenda here. You can follow me right here on my Twitter for anything that happens. But more than likely, I tweet actually, ironically, more through the Amphitheater Twitch channel than Twitter channel than I do on my own. So definitely follow the Amphitheater on Twitter. That said, this has been just a spectacular, fun time. I love playing with new people, and I love how everybody brought something just so unique and shined in their own really specific way. And it was just absolutely delightful. And to you, Jacob, like the commander of the ship that drove us out into the absolute rocky storm and then brought us home safely. It was really, really a pleasure to be along for that ride. In terms of what is next, we do have a number of things that are in the works. As I mentioned before, you can follow the Amphitheater on Twitter. We will be doing some announcements shortly once we firm up some dates and firm up some things here. But yeah, this is not obviously the well, let me say this, that we got some cool things in store for you all.
That's true. That is true. Back to me, I suppose. It's amazing because like I've been DMing for 4 years, 3-ish years, and on the and if you could argue like the blemish that I felt on my record, if you will, is I never have had the opportunity to complete a story. To have that is so fuck. I'm gonna cry again. I just gotta tell you, fuck, amazing. It makes me feel really happy. So I just wanted to say that. So I've been Duval King Jacob on the internets. Jacob Plick in my real life. My social security number is no. I tomorrow, Duval's gaming journey. We'll probably cry some more and play some Pokemon, which is ridiculous. And we're in a really interesting spot because we're in Saffron City, so it's Team Rocket fun time. So that's what an interesting flip of situations. Thursday over on Wobbles Maple Syrup, Outcast and Outclass, our Pathfinder 2e actual play, which is incredible. Can't wait to get back into that. And my character is in on cloud 15,000, and Maria is about to bring him down to real life because there's a confrontation about to happen. I think I don't know if that's true or not, but it's feeling pretty good. So you gotta go check that out. 8 p.m. Eastern time. And Friday, over on Somatic Games, who we're gonna raid in a second. We're doing something a little weird because monthly Helping Part Hands is our monthly charity stream where we raise a bunch of money and then drop it into somebody's Ko-fi and they don't even know what's happening and then suddenly blam, and then they're crying. It's great. But we're also doing something a little wild. This is the 3rd episode of our Adorable series, which is all the Adorables in every game on that channel meet up and hang out and play together and do ridiculous things. The problem is that there was an incentive last time to summon a dragon and Maddie's 20th level wizard character, and I did it. And I made it my ancient red dragon Matthew, and I might be killing 3 campaigns, and so let's see what happens. So yeah, it's gonna be wild. So you gotta check that out and see if I kill my own Duval Dragons campaign. And of course, Sunday, Dragonlance Dragons of Rebirth over there on Somatic Games as well. So as always, especially since I'm wearing the shirt, which is on stonenowhere.com, by the way, just remember, it's really important that you know that Black Lives Matter. Stop AAPI hate. Trans rights are motherfucking human rights. And if you don't have a uterus, you don't get to fucking tell people with uteruses what they fucking do with them. And also, if you get the opportunity, when you do get the opportunity, choose love. We love you. Thank you for joining us on this absolutely, that was real, that really happened. Holy fuck.
It really happened.
That really fucking happened. So see you back here tomorrow and everywhere else. So let's drop some, you know what? Let's switch it up a little bit. Let's drop some Eulalias in Maddie's chat this time. Anyway, love you. See you on the flip side.
All right.